Dear viewers, welcome to Dhof Business Blueprint. It's our first ever episode, and this channel we talk about growth, business, and mindsets, and specifically we target for African entrepreneurs and any other person who is a business interested person. So welcome to this episode. With me is Halima, who is going to co-host, and she's going to ask me questions. As a seasoned CEO, I would like to take those questions and give you something to thank me.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mohamed, for giving me this opportunity. And I'm glad I will be learning a lot from you. And not only me, but also the viewers will be learning a lot today. Okay, Mr. Mohamed, as a CEO, your decision impacts hundreds, if not thousands, of lives. How do you mentally prepare yourself for that level of responsibility?
I know with my level of preparations, I do have a lot of stakeholders from my students who are in thousands, my teachers and everyone. And to make daily decisions, it requires mindset and clarity. For purpose of clarity, I do have morning rituals, which I always had for the past 8 years. In 2016, a person called Robin Sharma, who is a great author, really introduced me the issue of 2020, the 5 a.m. club. The major principle of the book is you should divide 1 hour wholly divided to your personal development. And that is your first 20 minutes you're going to use for physical exercise. The second 20 minutes you are going to use to reflect about the past day. Mostly I have a journal. In me, my library, 80% is made of a journal. And all of you aware that always carry as it's my ritual. Because if I don't write, I feel it. In that 20 minutes, I write my reflection. What was the key success of that day? What did I achieve? What did I need to overcome? What was my biggest thing? What is my biggest blessing? You know, everyone has a blessing. If you don't write down, if you don't write down, you see it like you're living, you don't have any purpose. But the moment you see you wake up healthy, you go and buy something, you impact others, how do you feel? You feel okay. Serious? Yeah. So the last 20 minutes is you read a book, one of your favorite books or inspiring, so that during it's called the holy 1 hour before anyone wakes up. That's our first 1 hour. Others are still sleeping. You are preparing to the world, and that's the method I used for the past 8 years. It really helped me make clear decisions, and I think they say planning to fail. Was it? Failing to plan is planning to fail.
Yeah. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Exactly. I know now you are.
Yeah, so that is a very good quote. And we've learned that if you have an idea, you put it down, you write it down to make it alive. Exactly. It will just be an idea if you don't write it down.
Any other CEO, you should have a daily schedules, your to-do list. You don't wake up knowing that everything will take care of itself. No. There are those who wake up and then just the day runs them. Yeah. Instead of you running the day, you plan. Then you should have weekly goals, monthly goals, and yearly goals. I think those planning and over preparations help me succeed and scale one school to 8 schools, 8 branches, alhamdulillah. And now we're also a founder of Dhof Media, is a media company that's going to impact fellow entrepreneurs.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Mohamed. So what's the biggest mindset shift an entrepreneur needs to go from struggling startup founder to successful CEO?
You know, I could say most entrepreneurs have this mindset, the scarcity mindset, instead of having abundance mindset. In scarcity, we mean someone thinks of, why do I employ someone else? Well, I can do this. Why are my competitors are doing this? You know, God gives you a reason to start something. When you start something, it's that God providing not only you, others, they should eat with you. So like Imam Shafi group of schools or our group of schools, any parent who pays money, that money does not belong to us as a company. It goes back to the supplier, the bakery, the worker, the rental. Everyone must get something. So instead, if you become a miser and you think everything is in scarcity, you won't feel that impact. It will have a heart attack. But the best alternative for an entrepreneur is to have abundance mindset. What do I mean abundance mindset? I mean you should think of, this is my competitors, they will wipe me out of business. Instead, you should say, okay, these are my competitors. I'm glad they're going to show me the next opportunity. If they open a door, you see how they have done, You tweak a little bit and you're there. Because that competition, instead of scaring you, you see their move. Once you know their move, now you counter move. That is one thing. That's the scarcity mindset. And then in this world, there are trillions of dollars and trillions of money printed every country. We don't face a lack of money. Most entrepreneurs say, "Oh, uchumi ni mbaya, the economy is bad, money is not moving around." No, for you to get money, madam, or any other who is watching, is you should solve a problem. Yes. You know, when you're working for a company, you're solving that company part of its problem. If it's content creation, there's a team specializing. A teacher cannot do a content creation. That's not his field. Yes, everyone should have a skill, and God gives that opportunity. You get something out of it. It's like God has written everyone something to eat. Provided you come and wake up, you solve a problem. Tomorrow, if you want to solve a bigger problem, now that requires a larger team. Either you have to employ others with a larger team, with a rental. Now you're having a huge mountain. Yes. So I think the scarcity mindset and the abundance mindset are the way to go. So I think I prefer someone to think in abundance, knowing that money will not end today. Money is there, it's flowing in the economy. It's up to you to come with a problem. You solve that problem, and then you start earning. And then that tap of water or that tap of money flowing in front of you, you should put your way. How do you solve a problem, then it diverts to you. And then you'll enjoy life. At the same time, you impact as you enjoy.
Yeah. In this world, there is a lot of problems, and that means more money. So it's just people to think how to solve the problems, and they will get.
In fact, the opportunity, money is hidden under a problem.
They
say in Africa, by the way, African context, do we have a problem? Yes, we have millions of problems, from shortage of water, from shortage of unreliable electricity. Maybe you can sell business of solar electricity, because rural areas, they don't receive a lot of electricity. So if an entrepreneur sees an opportunity, can import goods. For us, we are not manufacturing, but God willingly, in 20 years' time, Africa will be in a good position either to manufacture. But for now, you just see a gap in the market, you feel it, and now you start having the right to earn. So those who give, get.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, leadership is often lonely. Have you ever felt that way? And how do you deal with self-doubt, setbacks, and pressure?
Leadership is lonely at the top, yes, because the higher you go, the challenge it becomes. No one understands your situation as a leader. You have bending bills, you have staff problems, maybe you want to move your next move, then there is business scrambling. Sometimes you're doing well, even both sides. When the business is doing well, you'll have a problem. When it's doing, it has challenges at home. So there is that loneliness in entrepreneurship. Only not had strong fated will win. I think there's a time I would like to share a story. In 2020, I think it was Corona time. We started the year well. On the first 2 months, we were crashing. Our school enrollment was great, but suddenly something God planned. It was unforeseen, but it was a blessing in disguise. The Corona thing happened to us here in Africa. I think it was a wake-up call. It really swept everything. Corona, we had a time, schools were shut down. That was our mainly livelihood. Not only me, over 100 plus staffs that time. We had almost 80, if not 90. Now we grew up, more branches open. That time we had almost 100 staffs. I was thinking of their problem, because after schools closed, where do they eat? It was really a tough period. I know we went through. Then besides that, as an entrepreneur, my burden was coming out. I had suppliers who supplied me goods and other things. We had landlords. 80% of our expenses were leased lands and leased properties. They were on my neck, I could tell them. But the good thing with me, and I thank God, is I was a persuasive, and I had a brand, and I was an honest person. Before those years, I used to pay my dues on time. I was, when you have that reputation and something unforeseen happens, it really, the other side will respect you. So what happened, I could negotiate my landlords, I could settle them, and then give them hope that sunshine is coming, the rain will be over soon. Then at least after convincing, they really accepted it, and it took. I think I could say, sometimes in such a situation happens, a good leader must not be emotional. You must use data, logic, and reasoning should thrive. I think that's what I've applied, and it really helped me. And Alhamdulillah. And then one funny thing happened, dear viewers. It was during that time, 2020, after Corona. The moment the Corona was over, we really struggled 7 months. In fact, even my home rental, it was, my landlord could knock my door. Sometimes I just negotiate. But the good thing happened to me is I had a good landlord. He really understood me. The moment schools reopened, I wrote a big check for him, and thank you. 4 5 months. But 3 4 months, I was using my reserve. But my reserves ended. The schools were closed up to 8 months. My reserves could end up to the last 3 4 months. And then one big thing that happened to me on Corona time, and I'm here to reveal today, is I was in the industry of education. I started a spare part business. Wow. And I was like, never say die. Yes, I think one of my content creator, Mr. Mwinyi, who's behind the camera, know we did it. Immediately, I had $1,000 at my saving. It was 100,000 Kenya shilling. I said, what do I do? Schools are not coming up soon. You know, that is a point to emphasize the point. And this story you're getting at first hand, yes?
Yeah.
Madam, now you're sucking me the story. What happened was I had the last saving. It was to make a big decision, to pay my rent or to go offensive. As like, you know, Mohamed, and I am an ambitious entrepreneur. I took that money, and then what I did, I just sit down. I had my in-laws who are businessmen. I had my father who was also abroad. So what I did, I came up with a business plan. You know, they say, first you have capital. No. I was proving wrong. I could raise up to 800,000, if not 600,000, within a short span of 2-3 weeks. And it is the hardest time. It's the hardest. I think I started at almost 800,000. The stock money plus the Luca, everything setting up. I remember you came part of it. Yes, I think Mr. Mwinyi, who is behind the camera, he was with us that time. I took almost the last saving of my money. I said, what do I do? Do I pay my rent or do I go? You know, I just had that trait of entrepreneurship in my blood. I said, buy, let it be. And I go offensive. If someone scores behind me, the goal is it. And it did it well. So what I did it, a long story short, I took that money. I just called all my friends. Hey, could you just, I'm starting at this business, spare part business. I started in Likoni because we had the motorbikes, the small motorbikes. I could purchase the inventory. In fact, my mind was to have a wholesale. I remember, yes, Mr. Mwinyi, I've written wholesale and a retail. I do have little capital. A wholesale capital requires 3 to 6 million. But here I'm daring a mountain that I want to climb here. And that for me is a do or die. Even at that time, everyone was surprised. Mohamed, you're starting, use this money to pay 2 months. I said, no. What if schools continue not being open? Yes? And then every time you open the news, something scary. Oh, another 5 people ran away. In Kenya, it was a drama, I remember. So someone disappeared. Oh, Corona is everywhere. Lockdown here, lockdown there. It really affected that. After all, I started that business. It took me a little shaky. 3 months into the business, the schools were reopening again. And then what happened towards the end of December, that business was doing daily. We were making some sales. It was not that great compared to the school, but I could feed my family every day. At least I could pay my rent. And it was starting to pick up that business. I never had the capital to put more. It was really challenging, and most businesses, when you're starting in the middle of Corona and you require capital, and I'm practicing Muslim, I don't go to banks, I always source from my family. After all, towards the end of December, I got my biggest opportunity. It was, my biggest opportunity was a school was on sale and someone was retiring. And here it's as challenges of schools closing. I expanded. Towards the end of December, I saw an opportunity. I said, now, no need to be emotions. I went from 1,000 years back history. They say when there is boom, there is downside. And then when there is downside, whenever there is rain, there is sunshine. So there is no day that something will continue forever. Even if success it is, you have to always re-evolve. Today, if you're here successful, tomorrow things may happen. So what you do, you have to evolve. Without evolving, now we are making content. Why? It's part of a strategy to evolve. Because 3-6 years time, I don't have to catch up with others. You must be up front, yes? So business now is hybrid. We are intermingling content plus businesses. Any other business I start, I must employ the power of social media, yes, because this is now power at our hand. It never used to be there. So what I did it, when even my friends, and then what I did it, schools reopened, I did something, then I got an opportunity. A lady who was Madam Anne, I thank her here, she was already, and her husband, they were retiring out of a business, a school business, yet the schools are closed. Everything is in turmoil. What would you have done yourself? You could have not heard that. But with not using emotion, I said things will reopen, things will get better. Let me take this opportunity. I got, and then I agreed with them. And then I took it, it was the business, when there is a downside of a business, there's an opportunity, yes? Mm-hmm. I negotiated on terms in a good condition. Otherwise, if things were quite okay, terms and conditions could have been had. So opportunity I saw when others, then I signed the leases, everything. Then when January 2021, schools reopened, I got not only one school, I got 2 schools in one place, plus a boarding. And then all my friends like, wow, Mohamed, you are up to something. Oh, I say, no, schools, when the schools reopened, they really reopened in full, alhamdulillah. And from there, it was history. I really, from the next 3 years, whatever happened, I forget it. We really grew very fast. We did well. Our population, alhamdulillah, soared. Our income has changed. And things went for me better. And that is the story that I'm saying. Don't be emotional. Just wait. Situations, God will change. And I think from there, now we're also launching Dhof Media. We opened 2 more branches. And I think it was so giving back that history of never say die, it's part of me. And I thank God.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mohamed. Like, one biggest quality that I can bring out from your story is like you are a risk taker. Yes. Like in Kiswahili, they say penye nia pananjia. Maybe in English, it's like where there is hope, there is a way.
There's a way, yeah.
Yeah. You've managed, you had nothing, the schools were closed, corona and all, but you managed to risk the small money you had. Yeah. Instead of paying rent and all your expenses, you put it in a business. And it was successful, mashallah. Mm. Thank you. I've learned being a risk taker is also part of success. Yeah. Many entrepreneurs get trapped in micromanaging. How did you transition from doing everything by yourself to trusting and leading a big team right now? Like,
for me, my biggest style is, I don't know others, but what I can say, those who micromanage are insecure. Why? You micromanage, you don't trust, it shows lack of trust. Mm-hmm. But for me, I do the opposite. I empower my team, I respect them. Whenever I give them respect, they must give me the respect. From the content team, to the management, to the staff, to the juniors, even to the cleaners. So that's what they do, to the cleaners, yes. So I have a way of hiring. I don't hire only based on skills. I see values, and then whenever we hire, we also train them, empower them to make important decisions. Then from there, a person feels that he's the one making the decision, and then I support them. From starting you as my assistant also, you're also co-hosting me with this show. At the same time, you assist me a lot of other projects. I really appreciate you.
Thank you.
But most of the time, you're testimony yourself. I delegate to you, and then I expect the person to do the things for himself so that you feel it, you're doing it, not being put in another situation. I think we also have KPIs, those indicators of success in place. And I think, for example, with me, I used to check books then from my schools. Now I do have a good system. The system now is the head teachers check the lesson plans and everything, and then I do have a manager. Everyone does. Sometimes I do impromptu checks using quality assurance officers for part of our school to check. So every head teacher knows that he is expected of this and this. Anytime we see and we conduct, it's up to him, his role, because we gave that semi-autonomous to continue doing his work. We have several branches. Every school has its own financial, its own thing, and it's running itself. So I think the biggest thing is an entrepreneur who's watching should empower your team, delegate work, and don't be mice. Just give others and empower them, and then you train them the way you want it so that they also follow, and they should have a culture in the organization.
Most entrepreneurs don't trust their teams. When they give a role or a task to someone, maybe part of the team, they feel like they won't do it the best. So they like, after the team has done the task, they come and redo it. Like they feel like they do it better than them, instead of maybe trusting them and training them if he or she sees any lack.
Those are called perfectionists. In life, nothing's perfect. Nothing stays perfect. From our homes to our wives to us ourselves as the husbands and parents. No one is perfect. Only God is perfect. As a human being, we must give a certain degree, a percentage. Even if your workers are doing, assume that they are not, they're human beings. They won't do 100%. But given, at least you should have a framework to satisfy yourself, and then you delegate them. Then the moment they're done wrong, you call them, you tell them you should have changed here and here. Next time, then the person learns. If he's mature enough, he will do, and he will self-drive.
Okay,
that's our model, and that's what we do.
Okay. Mr. Mohamed, most businesses don't make it past 5 years. Why do they fail, and how can the entrepreneur avoid it?
Most businesses, I think, number one thing, if not marketing, let's leave marketing, is financial management. Specifically in African background, African context, an entrepreneur makes little money. The village must know. The town must know that he has money. But that money does not belong to him. It belongs to the business. It belongs to the workers. It belongs to the rent. Let's assume now, a lot of money is pouring to our school accounts or other things. That money, I cannot touch it for other purpose because I should have the breakdowns. But the moment I buy a Brado, is in Africa, the best cars like Brado, the top cars. Then I start driving and I bought millions of money. But that millions of money in Kenya shilling, let's assume it's $60,000. But you buy, instead of paying your dues, you start purchasing, you start showing off your girlfriends, or you're showing your neighbors that, hey, you're someone. No. You should arrive at that destination. That's our destination. You need to work hard so that until you have 5 times of that income, you must buy that car. If you don't have that, you are working on the edge, you cannot buy. Because anytime financial cash flow problems, you are there to fall. Either you take a loan in which you'll get a trap, you can't get out. But the best time is, whenever you're buying a car, let it be 3 times, 4 times of that income you have. Now we don't have a problem. Now you can buy it like 2 or 1. And then you say, do I need 2? No, I only need 1. You just go that. Then the extra amount you have as a business person who is growing and who is evolving, you must think of your next move. Maybe in 3 years' time, how will be the situation? What if another corona comes up? What will you do? What if this? What if that? That's our mindset for entrepreneurs. That's what we do. That's number 1 is poor management, poor financial management.
Yeah.
Number 2 is they don't have that scalability. Most businesses, the way you said earlier, they want to be perfect. And most businesses, the owner works in the business instead of working on the business. When you're working in the business, you don't have room to see outside. A person who works on the business will see outside. He trusts others. He empowers others. And then whenever that business settles well, it will pay him something in the future. But if you work like now, let's assume the barber shop, maybe you are a doctor, you're in the same hospital, but now your work will be tied to the number of customers and the number of physical touch you do. Because you're a doctor, you have to inject this, you have to shave the patient. Within 24 hours, how many can you see it? Maximum 20 or 30, let's assume. From there, can you do it? What if you could have put a system in which now you have other doctors working with you? Maybe you own the hospital, then now, first 2 to 3 years, you'll not make a lot of money. But with time, if it's making money, now the same hospital, 20 doctors will work with you, same time, and then each one takes 20 patients. There are 400 patients a day you can see. Under your watch, 400 are seen. Imagine in 2-3 years' time, if that business scales well, you can earn 10 times what you're earning as a doctor, yes? Yeah. Because now you're able to delegate. But now you are the specialist. You want to see the ear, you want to see, you're the one doing it, otherwise you don't trust.
You don't trust.
He said the drivers, they don't trust another driver because they think now he knows everything.
Most entrepreneurs think if they hire a specialist or anybody who is good at something, it means that more money will come out from him. Like if you hire someone who knows.
Exactly, he's saying, yes, I understand your point is, they think that they're going to milk out a lot of money out of their business. So it's better he has to do the Mr. Fix-It. He has to do everything himself, yes?
Yeah. But they have to know, like, if you do that, it's like you're investing in your business using, like, you don't need to invest in your business using money. Sometimes you can invest using professionals.
Exactly, to
like,
grow your business.
To grow your business.
Yes, because they will have the ideas, they will have to, but
Yeah.
first they will eat the business because it's a cost to the business. But after staying away, you must know how to survive. Then when that business picks up well, the professional will run. Tomorrow you can go away somewhere and then they are the one running. Alhamdulillah, today we have trusted professionals that are running our schools and I'm here making content. And thanks to them, all those years I've sacrificed, gave away. And by the time, the hardest time was, I think, 2019. I could not even, the first time I ever handed over my books to the accountant, I told you that story. I was like, I'm giving away everything. By the way, in the first school, I used to do the canteen. I used to go and shop. I go to do the grocery. I'm the one marketing. When parents come, I'm the one. You know, when you're starting, you're that solo.
Yeah.
Then after reading several books, after seeing it, said no. And I had a big ambition of opening more branches. In fact, day one of my niece, Abdirashid, is here. He saw my book. My goal was to open almost several schools, 12 schools. And I only have one school in a tough neighborhood where I don't want to mention that people were giving me no chance that I'm going to succeed. But God was there for me. Today, as we stand here, almost 8 schools under my hand have been opened. Others ours, others are for family. I'm managing, alhamdulillah. But I could say that, those days I had that big dream. I was that side, but I could see now, whenever I see those books and I go to my, whatever I was telling you, the notebooks and the diaries, I used to write those. Whenever I go back, sometimes by the end of the year, I always see back my years. This was my goal. This was my goal. Today I've achieved this. I've achieved it. To do it to God. After God, it's also my effort and planned and everything. And then I've evolved. So I can say that delegation is number one, and you should have a system to automate your business and have, so that business, the reason you're opening, it can also scale. So that when in the economy of scale, you gain something. At first, it will eat your profit, and then you are investing back. So I think the poor management, and not having the right system to scale your business. Those are the two, I think, financials that hinder businesses across the world, specifically in Africa.
So, entrepreneurs should have less luxury. If you get little profit, you just think about luxury. You should always reinvest in your business so that your business can thrive and grow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I've learned that from Mr. Mohamed. What's the secret to building a high-performance team that shares your vision?
Okay, to build a hire, you should hire based on trust. You should have based on value, and not their mere skills. With values, you can go along with them. You should have what do you call? You should also have a system of where you encourage and you motivate those who are doing well. For us, we do have a yearly program, sometimes for top management, in which they get sometimes bonuses if someone has done well. If my teachers have performed, we give them when they perform. We don't give them for the sake. Those who have done well, who have excelled exams, we do have those programs to sponsor. For example, for us, we do yearly exams for national exams. If our students have performed and the teachers who are responsible, we're able to motivate them so that next year comes, they work hard for the candidate classes. For other teachers or other staffs, I think whenever they do something, I could encourage. So I think such a things motivates them based on the limited resources we have. We don't have big bonuses or other things, but my top management, sometimes we see if they have done well in that year and the school have done well, we give them such a things, motivate them, and they makes them stay a bit and be happy compared to the market, what is being offered.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moving on, how do you see AI and automation in reshaping business and entrepreneurship?
I think AI is here with us. I think since the last 2 years, I could say as a testimony, it really benefited us. From our content creation, it made life easy. Our scripts, our copies now getting better and better every day. Our idea generations, everything now, mostly now, personally, I'm using that leverage of AI. It's really helping me making great content, great things, plus knowing who you are. A second thing, AI is going to help, is not going to replace, it's only going to replace repetitive work or the routine work. like basic things. Maybe if you have a software or you're doing something, website code, such a things. If you had those businesses, it's going to make those repetitive work easy. Maybe having those large data sets you should do manually. Now the AI does it, it studies it and throws away the results. I think we're saying the repetitive work. But one thing that it cannot change is that creativity and leadership. An organization will not require an AI to lead, yes?
True.
It requires human beings. So the AI should be working alongside with us. It should work according. So those who fear, it's going to replace me, just study the right AI automation. If you're working for a company, don't think of tomorrow you're going to be retrenched because of your job can be done by AI. Yes, some roles of AI, copywriters, those who, I don't know, a lot of roles is impacting. If those used to write assignments online, now also there's a AI impact. Them they're using, even the students now are also using. Now that job is getting away because the same work he was giving away, he can do it in a few minutes. The same assignments can be done by AI.
True.
It also have its disadvantage for us like students. We give them homework assignment for our high schools, even primaries. Everyone has downloaded ChatGPT. They do the teacher gives them work, they take a picture, and you see nicely the formulas, everything. Mathematics is a formula, and it's straightforward. And AI is there to work. They're working with answers. Tomorrow they come, if they're told, go and write this thing, they can't write. So that is the disadvantage, let's say, in a light way. But AI is here to help us. It's going to work with us and only going to replace the repetitive work, maybe from factories and other places. But that leadership and creativity is upon us. Let us use AI to build our businesses.
If someone wants to start a business today, should they focus on digital or physical, and why?
I think they can focus hybrid in terms of both. For us, we are doing physical schools, and we have different locations here in Kenya, but we use the social media to grow our presence online. We reach more parents. They are really enrolling, and our schools, alhamdulillah, are really doing well. I think we are employing both because both of them are collaborating. What about in a digital business, what were you saying? Digital
or physical?
Okay. Yeah. Digital products are easy to scale, but what about the physical ones? They build that long-term customer trust. As schools, when the parents they come and visit the place, they have that connection and trust. A certain place, a certain school, a certain environment. So there's a difference, but this one can scale, but the other one can build that trust and everything. But the best alternative is to have hybrid crossbreeding, because this one will need physical things. At the same time, it will require online products, like whether you are taking some classes online, you are giving away calendars, you can distribute content through online, parents can share, students can share. I think crossbreeding is the best way to go.
If you use both, you can reach to many, and also you can gain trust and with the
so for me, I think I'll go for the hybrid, the blend side. True. Because if I'm starting a new company, I should employ both so that I go forward.
So what's the best investment you've ever made?
Okay, my best ever investment I've made was my best ever investment I've made was starting a business. Why am I saying starting a business? It is it's a challenge. But one thing, I've learned a lot of people that are great, that are now working with me. It's like we are family, 7, 8 years. Others, the highest person we are working together is almost since 2017, 8 to 9 years. I know him I saw him young. Now we already get married, yes. And like we are family friends. That's one thing I like. Second thing is, I think in business, at the same time getting those investors, my workers, those are the things that made me at least like that thing.
Investment you've ever made.
Investment I've ever made. What else can I say? My best ever investment. Okay, my other investment was hiring the right people and starting a business. Those are the things I can say was my best thing.
What's the biggest myth about entrepreneurship? People have a lot of myths about entrepreneurship. Some say it's the hardest. Entrepreneurship is hard. it is better you just get employed somewhere and get like.
It's true. I think entrepreneurship is hard in a way. At the same time, but it's not made for soft-hearted, fainted. It requires bold people. It requires from young age you're a leader, because after all you're not only making money. Money will come. Any business you start. Now consistency and staying the game for a long time, it will be now a testament. You should have that passion. You should have those big goals. I think the biggest myth people have is you should have huge amount of money.
Yeah.
Where in Africa, in our context, around the world, money is not it should not be limiting you. Yes, money is the capital that stops. And once you put in your mind that money is the number one thing, you don't think next. Instead of you thinking, what best idea do I come? What best ideas do I have? And then who has that money? You don't have it. Yes, my cousin have, my friend have. You have the idea. I want to start, for example, a big studio. For our case, you're having this studio. Equipment are costing almost $10,000, like 1 million, 2 million. You don't have that money. Maybe you have an uncle somewhere, someone who believes you. But first, you must build your personal brand. You must be that worker that's working hard. Either you work from another studio. Now you know the business plan. Once you have that plan, does it take time? You plan the thing. You have this. Now you look for investors. 5 people joining with you, each 300,000. You have the money. You bought the equipment. You sold them a plan. Yes? Did you have money? You had an idea and a plan. And then that's how the Westerns are sucking billions of dollars. They don't have $1 billion. Elon Musk is not waking up, in fact, people are feeding him. Could you take my money and invest in your company? He has that now, the money. He can go the rocket, yes? But before, it was hard. Once you establish a name, it's easy now. You come up with a plan. You say the next AI will be walking in the air. Oh, is it Elon Musk? Let me invest. That's how it does. But first build your reputation. And then number one myth that kills a lot of 99% of people's dreams starting a business, even a mere business, is capital. Capital should be the last. You should have the plan. Even if you don't have the capital now, always think of, this is my business. What resources do I need? You plan all the resources. And then the capital, others have the capital. What you lack, someone else has. The expertise you lack, someone else has. Organize the people, the resource, everything. As an entrepreneur, yours is to bring, even if you have never made any content, you can bring people together, yes? Because you hire a professional, you get the equipment, you get investors, and then that's called an entrepreneur who brings, it's like an artwork. You bring all this. So number one myth is assuming that you need a lot of money. You only need idea and execution.
So an entrepreneur, if you are an entrepreneur, you can't work alone. Like you need a team.
Exactly.
So the team with different expertise, a team with money,
Yes,
a team.
exactly.
Yeah, you only
Accountants,
you only need an idea and a plan, and you build your personal brand. You build yourself. Like you believe in yourself first, then others will believe in you.
Wow, great. Now you're a great student. You're really taking the lesson far. Wow, great.
Thank you so much. Okay, moving on. What's one business decision you regret?
One business decision
You regret?
I really, although I don't like it as an entrepreneur, I don't regret, always I say it. But I think content creation, I never knew it early how sweet it is. That's one thing. And building the personal brand early enough so that now I could have been another level. But it's written by God. There is a reason. That's why I'm starting now. I think lately I started 2024 to build really my personal brand. But generally my personal brand was there and I was building business brands before. Now I want to build my brand. That's why I'm featuring these shows. I do have another channel that speaks to different audience. This channel is going to speak large audience around the world. I think personal brand, if I could have moved early, I could have said it. But still, never say it's never late. Yes, I'm still on. In 5 years' time, 10 years' time, instead of saying, oh, why did you not take advantage? So I think I started the journey 2024. In 3-4 years' time, inshallah, I'll be so far ahead. Inshallah, the right investors will be with me. The right people will also beg me to work with me. Nothing sweeter than a building personal brand. Why? Because now you're showcasing yourself. All the people will be you're attracting to your life. Yes? Because investors can get to your life. That's great. You can expand your business. Second thing, good quality professionals. Once you have a name, they want to work with you. If they're the best cameraman, they want to join you because you already have a vision,
Brand.
you're a leader, a brand.
Yeah.
So that's the good side. And the reason we're making content, you're also watching at home, make sure that you start your personal brand.
Yeah.
Start the journey. You have 500 on Facebook, YouTube, everywhere. Start with them and start building whatever you do. If you're a professional working for a company, start building your personal brand. Tomorrow, another opportunity for a big corporation comes up, you're taken.
Yeah.
I think
So
that's
you build your personal brand, and you will not look for people. People will start looking for you according to
Exactly,
the
because
brand that you've made for yourself.
it's because now it's easy to get.
Yeah.
Your videos will sell you.
Yes. Okay. Now, if you had to restart today, what is the first thing you will do?
For me, I'm restarting from scratch, zero.
Yeah, zero.
I will do, first of all, I'll do an audit. The easiest part is starting with content. It was the opposite now. I used to start a product thing. Now it's creating the right audience. Once you start building those audience, you monetize them through selling courses, through giving consultancy, through giving, either doing services like digital marketing, all those things. Once I make some money out of that, of which marketing I did it, and I'm experienced 5 years, I've built brands, my business brands, alhamdulillah. Then once I start earning, now I start either buying local businesses, like the car washes, those small things. I do have those ideas here, crazy. And then once now I have this hybrid, marketing this, making, and then from there I can rise, and then now start thinking of my big businesses. Those are the channels to arrive my biggest businesses that I have in mind. Then I'll use the social media to do. Once I get the money, I start doing the low investment businesses, the service-based businesses. And dear viewers, I'm leaking you for free the ideas. You just take home. That is a light joke, yeah.
Okay. What book changed your mindset forever?
Oh my God. If you say that one, it's really touching me. I think after God changed me. Second to God, I think what changed me is Think and Grow Rich. Everyone who's watching this show and whoever is hearing, always I take, like now, I say it everywhere I go. Think and Grow Rich. Well, once I changed my mindset. Once I used to believe other things. Once I started reading that book, I started believing that I see money. You see money. Through where? Not the money. Through problems. And now the problems are not sweet. They are really hard. They are tough.
Yeah.
But the book makes you get encouraged. It's like hyper. Those steroids. You feel now you can take a whole mountain. But I think it was a great book that really changed me. I read it, and it was my first book ever. I wrote on Google that day, I remember, 1st of January 2016. And I'm starting my first project school on August 2016, almost 8 months span. I read the best books I read was Think and Grow Rich. Second was the 5 a.m. Club, which I was using, my routine checks and everything. I think that book was what is called the Babylon. I don't know, something like that. Another book for financial was The Richest Man in Babylon. Those were the impactful books that I've read. I really enjoyed. And really, after God, they really transformed me. Today, I'm a believer that I can earn anything.
Yeah. These books really inspire us and teach us a lot. Like some people, like these books really inspire us and teach us a lot. I personally am not a fan of reading books. Yes. I feel like these books are too big. Okay. When will I finish? But we should read them for the content it has, because you learn something from it. I've read one book and it has really changed my mind. Which one? It was about the planning one.
Okay.
Your second book that you mentioned.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Mohamed gave it to me and I read it.
What was the title, you remember?
Something. AM something.
5 a.m. Club. Oh.
Yeah.
You have it or you return it back to me?
I returned it.
Thank you.
So it taught me about planning ahead. Like when I wake up in the morning, I should plan my goals before starting anything. Yeah. When I want to do something, maybe in future, maybe a business, I should plan for it. I write it down, and it really helped me a lot. So
will you with me, books, the moment that book changed me, do you believe now I own one of my rooms is a big studio. I invested almost, if not $1,000, both my sitting room and then my library, both of them were going. Even before my first ever marriage, the first thing I installed in my home, before even marrying, the first ever marriage, it was not a couch, it was the library. I bought a a retired old Mzungu, or what do you call a white man in somewhere. I bought it $200. I think it was somewhere some years back, the first library, $200. It was a second hand, and I stole. It was big. It was so heavy. I don't know those ones now. My schools are using the libraries. Second, anytime wherever home I go, the first thing I install is my library, because after all, after God, they are showing me the ideas, everything, the person I am, the thinking of, if I restart, what can I do during the Corona time? If all those things I've not read, I don't think I could have cried somewhere like in Africa. No, I'm not crying. I'm saying never say die.
After all these years of experience, what's your personal definition of success?
For me, success is not only money. It is the impact you have people. It's the opportunity you create for others. For example, I do have investors. I do have almost a large pool of workers or employees that are after God is sending, is giving me their dues through me. That is something that I feel so happy, joyous, so that when they take home at least something home, if we are almost having 150, almost 1,000 families are indirectly impacted by this business. Those are the metrics I measure against success. By employing others, giving their lives better, by donating something impactful, by creating content that impacts others. Those are the total charities. We're doing this content, taking our time to do this great content. It's because I want that success to feel it.
So success is impact, the impact that you have given to the community, and that's success.
Success to me, yes.
You see success through other people.
Other people. In fact, I may not buy clothes, but if I buy for someone else, I feel happy because I like grooming others.
When other people benefit from the business that you have opened, you feel like, wow.
It enjoys me, at least I enjoy. Yes, everyone is under the tree, they're getting something. Alhamdulillah. Madam Halima, I know you are exhausted asking me questions. Let me ask you a simple question. Maybe what have you learned, like one or two things you can remember the whole talk?
Yeah.
Say anything, one or two that you have learned?
I have learned a lot from you, Mr. Mohamed. Thank you so much. I've been learning a lot while working with you.
Now, can you name anything you can remember now?
Yeah, I have learned a lot. I have learned that being an entrepreneur means you have to be a risk taker. You should not fear anything. You should risk it to get it. Because in life there is a lot of problems, yes, but the problems do not hinder you to do what you want. And I've learned that, like money comes from problems. So
Good, yes.
Yeah, money comes from
money,
problems.
You don't look for money. You look for the problem, you start solving, then you start earning.
Yeah, you look for problems in the world. Yeah, problems, they're not good. It's not good to, like a doctor earns from someone suffering, maybe from malaria and all.
A lawyer earns from someone's case.
Yes, so even an entrepreneur earns from a problem. You look for a problem, and then you solve it. Solving it means like you'll get money. You know, there's a reward after doing something. So the reward of solving a problem will be maybe, gaining profit and all. Yeah, that's one of the...
Wow, great. Dear viewers, I think this is our first ever episode. Madam Halima, she is really learning a lot, and she is co-hosting with me this podcast. I think we want to see you next episode, inshallah. We are going to throw one weekly, and God willingly, I think we'll enjoy and benefit from Dhof Business Blueprint. Here we discuss purely for business, my success, everything, and I'm going to, inshallah, with time, going to have CEOs and other great hosts. Now this is an introduction, a podcast. As the podcast grows, we should have great hosts, so that I'm going to ask them questions on behalf of you viewers. See you next episode.